Oh my goodness.
Are you feeling intimidated yet?
Just a tad. A comfortable amount of intimidated.
That's the best kind of intimidated.
I have been educated that in the Angry Birds movie, the Angry Birds drink piss, and there's a podcast, and August was on it.
That's great. I'm aware of the scene where they drink piss.
I mean, you would be, wouldn't you?
I would be.
You would be.
I can't remember where I heard that, but it was in some kind of podcast format where they talked about Angry Birds.
It's probably the Angry Birds drink piss in the Angry Birds movie podcast then, which I was in.
Maybe. I think it might have had Jim Sterling on it. I think it was probably the podcast Jim Sterling and Comrade Zimmerman do, where they talk about video game movies.
I like video games.
Well, I'm a little bit worried about having you on the podcast then. Oh, we hate video games.
Well, you could have fucking told me before you had me on then.
Oh boy. All right. So we can get started. Hello everyone and welcome to Video Games Are the Worst Thing on Earth. I'm Alton. With me as always is Reese. Okay. Trying out a new thing.
I had some Taco Bell, and it has just affected me physiologically from top to bottom.
Oh.
I'm already like really stupid, and I'm 10 times stupider.
Okay. So Reese has got that taco stupid, and we have a very special guest with us, August.
I crave feet!
Of the infamous Doggeaux account. How's it going, August?
Yeah.
That's not an answer, but okay.
Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
I was just gonna keep waiting to see if you were gonna say a third thing. Like, thank you, pals.
I thought the audio cut out.
No, that's just something we like to do to our guests, where we go completely silent for 5 minutes and see if they stick
you're not
around.
gonna fool me again, idiot.
Okay.
Try fooling me again. Furry man. Mr. Furry. Man of the fur. E.
It is true. We will this podcast for our listeners will be an audio delight, but for you, it will be a Byzantine maze of riddles and puzzles.
Well, you're PP small.
It's true, but we need to get into our first topic.
Must we?
We've got to get into Notch's gigantic meltdown.
Well, when you say it like that.
So tell me, do you have any history with Notch, August?
I was at the first Minecon when I was like 10, and I passed him by in the hallway with him and his entourage, and I was too scared to get a picture with him, which in retrospect I half extremely regret and half am very relieved about.
Oh my god.
That's about it, though. I mean, I saw him at Minecon. He was very awkward and yet egotistical at the same time, which is his entire thing, so not surprising.
That sounds about right.
I wish you had gotten the photograph. I think that's a regret. You could have touched history.
I could have, but I was a very ugly child.
But comparatively to Notch, you would have been beautiful.
True.
I believe Notch is a much uglier child. Both on the inside and the outside.
I'm sure you do know about it, but just making sure you know about the candy wall thing, right?
Oh yes.
Yes, this has been a topic of conversation many a times.
Just making sure, because it's essential.
It is 100% essential because it's literally the only explanation we can think of as to why he's gone down this path. Is that his candy wall has gone bad with some sort of brain-inflaming fungus.
So you're implying that even though he knew it went bad, he decided to indulge in it anyway, because waste not, want not.
100%.
I don't think he had a choice. I think the candy was there, and when the candy shakes come over him, something has to happen, and it involves candy.
Indeed. Actually, I wanted to know, Reese, do you have any history with Minecraft or Notch?
Not really. I enjoyed downloading it and playing it for like a month in 2014. And I didn't really know who Notch was or anything like that. That was outside of my sphere somehow. And it wasn't until a little bit after that that I learned that he was a massive dipshit on Twitter. You know, being a broke brain online person, that's when I truly fell in love.
Oh, yes. That is, I think that Notch at one point stopped being the Minecraft guy and started being the guy on Twitter who is just constantly having a crisis. And last week, he had this amazing post, which we're going to talk about right now.
Oh, that one.
He has become a being of pure online. He has transcended his mortal coil, which he uses only to consume his fetid candy. And now is just...
Wait, I thought the candy was what gave him the strength.
It is. It powers his online posting. But it's like he's literally gone into full weird chud mode. So this is a post from Notch back in, I think, March 2nd, where he says... Q is legit. Don't trust the media.
Amen, brother. Finally, someone is saying it.
It's incredible to me that is Notch a billionaire or a millionaire?
Multi-billionaire.
Oh my God.
Billion. He's one of the richest men in the world by some measure.
That is very cool.
And I think what's especially fun about this is that whenever you look at rich people, you always see that money can buy you friends, or at least the illusion of it, but he doesn't even know how to do that right.
There's literally like the post that he said, "Oh my God, I'm so alone."
Did he actually?
I think so. I've got to see if I can find it.
Chuds like think they're doing it for irony, but it's really a cry for help.
Mark Dice owned him because he had a big party, and I guess Mark Dice went and was just like, Notch, dude, this is pathetic. You can't try to buy friends like this so openly and nakedly. And just imagine getting owned by Mark Dice.
That's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
I mean, it's the last good thing he did. The only good thing he ever did.
Well, that and also the kill Trump 911 call.
Forgot about that.
Oh my God. There's a one from 2015. I can still see messages from people I follow, so I don't feel completely lonely. If I couldn't, I'd be too aware of the life I live. Oh, no. Oh, another one from 2013. Kinda wish I wasn't so lonely. Maybe once I buy that new big apartment, I'll feel more satisfied. Maybe I just need more watches. Holy shit.
How'd that work out, man?
I'm either feeling aggressive or lonely, hard to tell.
Oh, dear Lord. Well, I think we know which one he decided to choose on the outward surface.
Yeah.
I think he just didn't buy enough watches. I think he just underestimated the amount.
He just needs an entire arm of them.
Pretty much. I mean, just the whole suit made of watches.
Yeah, it seems as though that Notch has 100% bought into the idea of retail therapy, where he's trying to consume to fill the empty hole in his life.
You said hole.
I did say hole. Oh, but this is not the first time he's ever posted this. Here's another one from August 25th, 2017. Notch. Pizzagate is real, in brackets. And then beneath it, this tweet is unavailable. This tweet is unavailable. This tweet is unavailable. This tweet is unavailable.
Lost to time.
That very normal post probably inspired some very normal answers.
I'm gonna jump in here. You know, Notch is a real piece of shit, and most of these things that we've said are really dumb. But in this one, I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt because I do believe that the Democratic elite are sex perverts, and Pizzagate just gets a couple of the details wrong. So to me, like, this is the only time he's ever been kind of on point. At no other point in his life.
That's true. Jeffrey Epstein exists.
In a very indirect sense, he did also very much manage to isolate gamers from the general public just for a brief amount of time by forcing them to lock themselves in their rooms and hit pigs with swords. But that didn't last long enough, unfortunately.
I mean, that's the problem. That's extremely disappointing that he didn't stay and captain the ship right into the iceberg.
I'm not sure how much you guys immerse yourself with like game-related programming, but also it's fun to note that this entire game, this multi-billion-dollar game, is still coded in JavaScript or Java or whatever, which is incredibly sad.
Sometimes I see tweets when I'm searching around for the stuff about the developers, and they're just like, oh, Notch did not make any effort to document anything till we came on, and he didn't do this right, and he didn't do this right. Oh, but we love him because everybody loves Notch.
Do they, though?
Apparently not, no. He's replaced all the walls in his house with candy walls, including the ones with doors. I think he might have Count of Monte Cristo'd himself in candy.
I mean, wouldn't we all if we had the opportunity? The only difference is that most of us have at least a couple friends.
Indeed. Oh my god. There's just so many posts to go through. Here's another one from 2017. I just scrolled down and I found one where he's like, if you're against the concept of a heterosexual pride day, you're a complete fucking C-word and deserve to be shot.
I remember that one so well. Even because a lot of people from his corner were like, man, that's a little overboard, he tried to walk it back as like irony or intentional hyperbole.
Maybe. Another one is, there clearly is an agenda against white men.
God, I fucking wish.
That's a quote tweet to Jonathan Morales saying, Notch, why are you acting like this? Please stop acting like there's an agenda against white men.
That's the most normal way you could possibly reply to that.
Pretty much. He couldn't have just replied to it. He had to quote tweet it and get all his fucking chud sycophants to, like, attack that person. There's another tweet I wanted to get to here. Crash Thompson said, Notch, please say this phrase. Nazis are bad.
Oh, this one.
Don't subtweet. Don't add your own snappy little commentary. Just say it. Then I'll believe you. And then his response is, Nazis and communists are bad. I think that this honestly reflects the kind of mindset that I've heard talked about where when it comes to, like, I guess people who've made it, who are comfortable.
You said come.
I did. Comfortable. Like Notch. Really, their ideology is that they are opposed to anything that really destabilizes anything, even if it would shake things up for the better. Notch is pretty typical of this outside of his completely online nature, and that he probably hates anything that would, like, remove one of his many candy walls.
It's something I think we can all be sympathetic towards, is when you struggle to, engage socially, make friends, etc. The worst thing that can happen to you is to get $1 billion.
Oh my God.
Because you just have no reason to do anything anymore, and you just become a massive dipshit.
And a shut-in.
I don't want to dox myself too much, but I once knew somebody who came into $1 million, just a little over. He turned from just like a kind of annoying nerd, like all of us, into just the biggest, meanest dipshit. And would just basically say to us that now that I have $1 million, I don't have to participate in the social side of things anymore. So I'm just seeing that writ large with Notch.
I wonder how that's working out for him now.
We've talked about how wealth seems to, like, change people into horrific monsters before.
I can relate to this all on a smaller scale because, as you might know, lately I started doing art commissions and my bank account went from like $100 to like $900, which is basically winning the lottery when it comes to being a high school senior. And weeks later, I don't remember anything that happened. I just woke up in a huge pile of Panda Express leftovers.
Be honest, August. Do you have a Panda Express wall?
Oh my God.
God, I fucking wish.
Oh my.
Except I would actually have friends to share it with.
I mean, you wouldn't after the Panda Express wall went bad.
It's not going to go bad. They put so much preservatives in it.
Just mummifying yourself with, like, the sodium content from Panda Express. I think unrelated to what we were talking about, but I think if you had like a couple more $1 million, it would be interesting to see what the effect would be on like, I mean, is there any example of like somebody who was like an avowed leftist getting really rich and what effect that had on them?
There's actually a lot of like, I don't know if it's anyone who's like nouveau riche, but there's a lot of people in the left, like the DSA left, who were always fairly privileged, and they're something a lot of the time. I was about to name someone, but I remembered that this is a public thing.
Hell yeah. Drag them.
There's someone who's fairly well liked, so I'm not going to try because I have way too much clout to get into that kind of shit.
It's Bernie Sanders.
Yes, it's Bernie.
Fucking rich motherfucker has 3 million houses.
Oh, wait, I just remembered someone that I can invoke. Who was that Jacobin guy who turned out to be like a major creep? I know that's not very specific. Sam Criss. Yes, Sam Criss. He would say things to girls, like one of the things he said to one of the women that he was really like creepy towards was, hey, why don't we go back to my parents' huge mansion that I am going to be inheriting?
Awesome.
And he's the same person who was talking like really great about how great the Cultural Revolution was and everything like that.
That's like the lamest fucking pickup line. Like, if you own the mansion, I can say, hey, I want to go back to my mansion. But it's like, hey, you want to go back to my parents' mansion that I will one day inherit? Just how pathetic is that?
Zoe Quinn talks about people that she came up with in doing like just whatever indie art stuff she did who find success in gaming, and how it kind of warps their perception from people around you and your friends and trying to lift everybody up. And once you start becoming part of the organization, not even like $1 million, it's just becoming upper middle class beyond a certain point. You just start to have like a real distance and can no longer connect because you don't, I don't know if it's you're not in the struggle anymore, or it's just like something that if you're willing to keep that much money, it says something about you. I don't know what it is. You know, we've said it before on the podcast that beyond a certain bank account number, you sus.
I'm famous for my sneezes. Continue.
I was going to say, please don't bark at Reese while he's talking. What were you saying, Reese?
No, that was it.
Wait, I'd missed it. I was too busy sneezing.
Just that if your bank account is above a certain amount, you're suspect until proven innocent.
Oh, you said you're sus. I thought you said you were like pronouncing Jesus in a really weird way.
You're sus. You're Jesus.
You're sus.
You're risen. You make $120,000 a year. You are the savior.
All right, so we've got more Notch tweets to go through. I mean,
oh, great.
An infinite amount of this shit. So this is one of his latest diatribes, which is fucking awful. He starts off full force blast with that ableism, yo. Hi, sane people. I should not have tried listening even to people who will claim to know how I feel and think. I'm negotiating when I say they're wrong. These people are sick. I need a shower and a prayer. And then...
one of those things is true.
And then he's like celebrating fucking body dysphoria, making it illegal to use the wrong pronouns. They are the ones using the wrong pronouns, fucking hell. I only wanted to read this because it's a major bummer, but I only wanted to read this because Simon Honeydew of the Yogscast follows this up with, hey man, it's my birthday today, and it would mean a lot to me if you could delete your account. I have a personal history with the Yogscast. I don't know about you guys.
Really? I was 9 years old once, so I do too.
And more embarrassingly, I watched it as like a teenager, so... that's a part of my humiliating past.
And the fact that I'm here at the same age or around the same age you were, and I'm not like that.
Well, I mean, I think the Yogscast used to be better. Nowadays, they like make a million Trouble in Terrorist Town videos to the point where it's like unwatchable.
Oh, I just stopped paying attention a long time ago.
But anyway, it is just very funny to me that Simon Honeydew... it just comes into this thread to just say, delete your fucking account.
Oh my god.
So, August, can you give any insight to the Notch Yogscast beef? Since
I actually can. I was about to bring it up. At Minecon, there's this shit that went down where the Yogs... I forget the exact details because I wasn't paying too much attention because instead of going to meet the Yogscast, which I originally intended to do, I just bought Plants vs. Zombies on my iPad and I was having too much fun playing it, so I didn't go meet the Yogscast. But... apparently, Notch was really angry at them for some unspecified reason and claimed that they act like divas or something like that. And a lot of people who were there flatly refuted that narrative and were like that. I forget why, but Notch was just pissy and decided to take it out on them. So since then, I guess there's just been a lot of bitterness between them because Notch decided to be a bitch to them for no reason at Minecon 2011. And I'm sure there's probably stuff that's happened after that, but that's what I know because I was there at Las Vegas. So...
the tweet that kind of signaled me into this is that a couple months ago, he basically subtweeted the Yogscast talking about how mad he was and how suspect they are.
Oh my God.
And then he said, they made me raise my hand and then put their hands down really quickly so I would do a Hail Hitler. And they were there trying to troll me.
I've got the tweet up right now. So the Yogscast are doing something where they're quote tweeting RT Game Daniel saying, "We're excited to have you down, Dan." And then Notch replies, in December 2018.
Ooh, keeping those receipts.
December 2018, he's still fucking mad about it. He says, "I'd be wary about them, Dan."
You keep Dan out of your fucking mouth, Notch.
Oh my God. And then people are replying to this oh man, this is a throwback. Which is, it's true. I cannot believe that Notch is so very online that he's keeping a grudge from almost 10 years ago.
I mean, I still have grudges against people in 4th grade, so...
yeah.
Well, I think it's less even the grudge. The people posted the receipts from that interview. It's Notch and one of the other Yogscast guys put their hands down, and the other guy's hand is still up. Is like, "Oh no, I did a Hail Hitler, ha 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 ha." And so not only was it Notch who they were owning, it was him making fun of himself. Is that when they responded, Notch's response to this was like, "Oh, thanks for correcting the duration of time that I said." Not even "Oh, damn. I'm sorry.
Thanks for correcting my faulty memory of the duration." Which, who talks like that?
And I wanted to underscore this as I think a nice little slice into Notch's thought process of nothing he thinks of is in any way representative of reality, obviously, but you can see how it just everything gets twisted and he can barely interact with humans without twisting it into some sort of slight against them. Which is why I think it's good when you own him on Twitter. And this is what this whole segment is about, trying to raise awareness to insult Notch.
Oh yeah, you all saw the Atomic Thumbs thing, right?
Yeah, we're going to get into that right the fuck now, because the Atomic Thumbs thing is beautiful. So we're going to start Akon, who's rather farther up, and they are responding to Notch's tweet where they're like, "They're the ones using the wrong pronouns, fucking hell."
Okay, just to be clear, this is not Akon the rapper?
I do not believe so.
Okay, just making sure.
I think that they says they are a pretentious weeb on their profile.
That doesn't rule it out, but continue.
All right, so they responded to his tweet about the pronouns with, "I'm gonna be real with you, Notch. This ain't it." And then Notch responds with, "Fuck you, it is."
That's such a powerful way to respond. I also respond that. To be real, I said, fuck it isn't.
Oh my goodness. And then here comes Atomic Thumbs, just starting the pain train on Notch with their first comment. Do you want to read it out, August?
"You have no real friends, and when you die, presumably of natural causes, it is going to be a lonely death. You know this to be true."
"You can make stuff up about me if you want, but that doesn't make it real. Does that remind you of something?" And then here's the next one.
"Why would I want to make anything up about you? You're basically the most boring thing there is. a bigoted billionaire who fucked over his only friends, who can't figure out anything to do with his money except donate a paltry portion of it to charities that have to read your name on stream and make everyone unhappy doing so.
Oh my god. Have you seen that clip of like the game's done quick?
I haven't. No, what happened there?
Oh, okay. So they were playing this game and then they were... It's so fucking funny. They like somebody donated $2,000 in the chat, and everyone's like, "Yay!" And then it's like, "Oh, it's from Notch." Oh, it's just like it wasn't booing, but the visible disappointment of everyone on the stream was the fucking funniest things.
It's more powerful than anger. It's more powerful than anger. You're the 21st century of a version of Howard Hughes, lol.
Oh my god. Yes, good example. There are several movies that basic plot. That's not me being dumb, that's what he actually typed out. Yeah. You can't even make up a version of me more boring than Gatsby.
This isn't a movie, Marcus. It's your life, or what remains of it. What did you trade your happiness for?
Oh my god. You're the fuckiest of nuggets, Atomic Thumbs. I hope you burn.
And another thing, I'm not mad. Please don't put in that I got mad.
That's from Chaos Dragon at Dr. Payne.
It's fun that I'm mutuals with all of the people involved except Notch.
Just a small thing. I love the I hope you burn has no punctuation or capitalization at all.
It looks like teen angst.
He was broke right at that tweet.
Here's a meme video of it. I think we should watch this video.
Yeah, I'm watching it right now.
And we got
10,000.
a $10,000 donation from Notch himself saying, "Hey guys."
Oh, that owns.
It's amazing. Like, you gave them $10,000 and the reaction on finding out who it was is just, ooh.
We still gonna take your money, though.
Yeah, and just to give a follow-up, something that Atomic Thumbs posted later, you all can have a largely representative sample of my mentions for the past day or so. At The Gaming Otaku says, "If I could, I'd be at Notch's side on his deathbed. Not because of his money, but because he is a hero. He's a hero to kids and adults who love what he created. He's a hero to us who are called racists and Nazis because of we dare dissent against identity politics. Hashtag I'm with Notch."
Damn.
I'm on the Gaming Otaku's profile right now. He has an image from the Nether, I think, as his profile image. Yes, it's in the Nether.
Oh boy.
I'm just a regular guy. I don't care much for this political correctness. I could not care any less about your feelings.
I'm just normal. I'm very normal. Please believe me when I say I'm normal.
And he's from England, and his most recent tweet is from the 13th and says, hashtag Brexit is cancelled, hashtag traitors, hashtag Brexit. All of you MPs who voted for this traitorous action do not expect to have a job in a few years.
I just love that this is somebody who calls himself the Gaming Otaku.
He's the Gaming Otaku.
Going like, I would die for you, sir. Notch, I would die for you.
Not just any fucking Gaming Otaku, the Gaming Otaku.
Who only follows 6 people. It's Jacob Rees-Mogg, Jordan B. Peterson, Notch, and just 3 random gaming people. Probably one of the most cursed timelines I can fucking imagine.
Oh my god.
And also, for the sake of friendship, I want to say that you all should definitely follow Atomic Thumbs. He is very nice and always retweets photos of cute wolves.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that explains why you already follow him. I did not hear about Atomic Thumbs until this infamous event, and I followed them immediately afterwards.
Yeah, they post lots of good art and wolves.
I actually half-jokingly was like, go on Vigotwato. atomic thumbs, and then they were like, I would have nothing to say. I don't know, you seem to have a way with words.
Only if you put him in like the presence of Notch, though.
I would honestly be okay with them coming on just to verbally destroy me and Reese.
We need to have to ask Notch on this podcast.
Oh my god. Ugh. The thought of him being anywhere close to my beloved pod.
Yeah, it's such a turn on, isn't it?
Ugh. Yeah, that's what it was. I'm getting uncomfortably horny. That's why.
I would only allow it if he would come into the studio.
Come into the studio and come in my studio.
Give us some of his fetid candy so we can understand what plane of existence his brain is on.
That's why I want the fungus. Whatever's the best transmission medium.
I want to give the fucking brain fungus that Notch uses to give himself super posting powers.
We were talking about it yesterday, but it's our theory that Notch's brain is actually just one giant Skittle at this point. Just a smooth folded Skittle. It's disgusting.
All right, so that's the Notch thing done. That was a lot of fun. For us, for Notch, his life remains and will continue to remain a constant hell.
I mean, that's the real pleasure of all this stuff with Notch, is anytime you read it and you're like, oh, fuck this guy, you're just like, man, at least he's sad. You know, that makes me feel good that he is sad.
His life is a golden cage. But we have a couple more topics to get into. I don't know what your history is with Halo, but recently it was announced that the Halo collection is coming to PC, which I would say I'm actually kind of excited about because I enjoyed the Halo games when they came out. I wasn't like a crazy Halo fanboy, but it's definitely sort of a nostalgic thing for me.
This is the opening salvo of the next phase or threshold of Xbox and Windows integration. I like Halo a lot, and I definitely want to play those on my PC, but I am fearful of also the anime doom noise that accompanies it.
What is an anime doom noise?
It's any noise involving anime, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you played Halo, August?
Halo was more in the time where I looked down upon my classmates that liked things like Call of Duty and mocked them for being unrefined while playing Minecraft.
Okay. So, I mean, I kind of, my relationship to Halo is in a way very similar to my relationship to Garfield. In that I think
It turns you on.
And that I think Master Chief is in fact Garfield, and that's why he never takes off the helmet. It's sort of like an ironic but also sincere love of it, where it's really fucking cheesy and bad, but that's kind of what I like about it. It is just very I'm very ready for like all the fucking Halo memes that are gonna come surging back into popularity.
Oh, Alton, you just said come.
I say come a lot, okay?
Kamala Harris, 2020.
If you point it out every time, this podcast is going to be 2 hours long.
And fantastic.
And amazing, yes. Please don't improve our podcast quality.
You're accusing me of making this podcast too long, and yet the plan for this podcast is to review Notch's bad tweets.
Yeah, that's true. Well, only his recent bad tweets.
Again, that does not mitigate anything.
Yeah, that's true. But I just wanted to bring up the Halo collection coming back because of this incredible story, which I think is just very funny on its own right. So this comes to us from PC Gamer by Fraser Brown 3 days ago. Halo the Master Chief Collection devs were sent far too much pizza by fans.
Subtitle, if they keep eating, we'll never get the game.
Would you like to read it, Reese? I think it would be very funny if you read it.
The great news that Halo, the Master Chief Collection, is coming to PC, won't be trapped on the Microsoft Store, and will contain Reach prompted fans to send 343 Industries gifts. Specifically, lots and lots of pizza. Too much pizza, if there is such a thing. Last week, Reddit user... Last week, Reddit user The Womb in the Sky promised to buy pizza for any 343 employee commenting, but only if the collection got announced during the Inside Xbox show, which it was. but others clearly followed suit, turning the studio's office into a temporary pizza dimension.
Oh my God.
There is a tweet here of "It has begun. Pizzas are actually showing up at the studio. You're too kind." And it's, they've got Domino's. Hooray.
Oh my God. Brian Gerard says, and another one. Thank you, anonymous pizza donator. I think pineapple and jalapeno is a troll, but it's some on the team's favorite? ? Please, we don't need more pizza. We good.
It was a lovely gesture, but then the pizza kept coming, and community director Brian Gerard had to plead for the cavalcade of food to stop. Human stomachs can only eat so much cheese and dough. The tweet follows, "The Halo community is so awesome. We're excited too. Please don't send any more pizza to 343 Industries. The building receptionist isn't here, so it's getting logistically challenging, and we really don't want the food to go to waste." To Spartan Sea Pizza, I'm not I don't know what that word is. With Halo lore, I confess, but I assume that super soldiers adhere to a pretty strict diet, like they can only eat rocks. Anyway, I'm hoping that finally being able to play all the Halos will answer my many questions. Okay, my one and only.
I mean, that's the lame part. I'm going to cut that part out because it's just them being like, oh.
No, cut out everything but in the podcast except that.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's a lame joke. Oh, do Spartans eat pizza? What's the deal with these pizzas?
My wife shops.
I just love the idea of these developers getting fucking overwhelmed with pizza. So much fucking pizza they have no idea what to do with it all.
I really like the dawning realization, like, is this pizza going to be a problem? What's our exit strategy for this pizza?
Just begging the fans to stop sending them pizza. I think at some point this goes from like touching heartfelt show of gratitude by fans to just like actually fucking trolling. Sending them pizza until they have a pizza wall and it goes fetid and then they all become Notch.
Knox is orchestrating it so he could finally build some friends.
Someone donated 20,000 pizzas. Yay! Oh, it's from Notch. Oh. So that's just a little fun nugget of news I wanted to get out there. I wanted to explain my faux ironic enjoyment of the Master Chief and his exploits.
I mean, my enjoyment isn't even faux ironic. I played so much Halo in my 20s, and it was kind of like the last.
Wait, are you telling me you're out of your 20s?
I am out of my 20s. I'm sorry.
What the fuck?
I hope you can one day forgive me.
No.
For being on the internet. Being out of my 20s.
As an old man.
He's fucking old.
This is what happens when you survive for multiple years. You become an old. One day we will all be olds.
Not me, I'm Asian.
Okay. I'm pretty sure that the oldest people alive are Asian.
Do you have a source for this claim?
Counterpoint is that I just think you shouldn't stunt on us because the Earth will no longer be able to support life by the time you're 30.
God damn. That was a fucking comeback. Yeah, fuck you, Zoomer. The Earth will be a baked husk by the time you're my age.
Your bones won't be able to support your body in like 5 years anyway, regardless of how you look at us.
Oh my god. Alright, so the last segment I wanted to get into, and this is just a little bit of fun. I know this is something that Reese has expressed to me, is that he gains a great deal of schadenfreude whenever something bad happens with Anthem, and I must imagine you are on cloud 9 right now.
Oh, I love it. Every moment of suffering from Anthem fans is the only thing keeping my withered husk going.
So I don't know if you've been keeping up with this August, the whole Anthem thing.
Only somewhat, knowing that it's a complete clusterfuck.
Yeah, so I'll let Reese take charge on this. What do you want to start with the Anthem thing?
From Nibble, at Nibillion. A Reddit user found out that the damage numbers in Anthem don't seem to mean anything.
Yes, I see that.
A level 1 Defender rifle does more damage than a level 45 Masterwork weapon. And there's evidence attached.
At a source, yeah. Evidently, this is some sort of issue with like how the level scaling works on the weapons. So if you're like max level and you're using like the level 1 rifle, you'll do more damage than like the highest level epic legendary weapon available, which is just wow.
Which already seems super underwhelming to my understanding. Because it's like, because it's legendary, you get 1% more pistol damage. Your elemental alt gets 2% more damage. It's just like, Jesus Christ. It's PvE. Let people have fun.
For real. And then like I looked at the GIF. He uses his max level legendary weapon and it's like a fucking pea shooter. He has to shoot him 12 times to like kill anything. It's pretty pathetic.
They actually released this game.
I mean, they actually released Fallout 74.
It seems like Fallout is appearing to be less bad than Anthem, because at least Fallout isn't crashing your consoles in really dangerous, debilitating ways.
From Destructoid, EA is investigating why Anthem is crashing PS4s. So, evidently, there have been multiple reports that Anthem is crashing PS4s. Like people from Reddit were. Oh, I'm sorry. I've just completely shut down. I think August is right. I'm going senile.
You didn't even have any Taco Bell.
I didn't. No, I think I just fucked it up slightly, and then I realized I didn't know what to say after that sentence, and I was like, well, now I'm just gonna.
There's nothing left. There's nothing left to do.
I just gotta reboot. I've crashed, just like these PS4s.
Ha! That's a computer joke. That's a game joke. Ha!
Yes, video games.
I like jokes.
I think jokes are bad. But anyway.
Fuck off.
We haven't made one joke yet. God.
No, this has been all completely serious.
So, over the weekend, various reports were coming from users on Reddit that Anthem had been crashing their PS4s. One user reported a completely bricked console, and others were claiming that Sony had been issuing refunds for digital purchases of the game in response to these claims. While there isn't any confirmation of these stories, EA has now officially come out and stated Anthem is indeed causing system lockups on the PS4.
Oh boy.
And basically, I was listening to them talk about this on the Giant Bombcast, and this is constant for a lot of people. Like, you can't even get through like an hour and a half without it bricking your console, and then you have to do some kind of weird thing to the PS4 to get it to like do a hard reboot. And
you gotta fuck the PS4.
I mean, that's and once you fuck the PS4, it's got to rebuild the entire hard drive over like an hour and a half.
That's called the refractory period. You get it? You fuck the PS4 and then it has to rebuild? Never mind.
Ha!
Thank you, August. Thank you for that one incredibly loud ha.
Jokes.
I like the echo on that one. That was powerful.
You know, I can start barking if you want. That is in the cards.
Okay.
Well, that's on brand.
It is on brand. I'm actually slightly curious. What does an August bark sound like? It sounds like you're at the bottom of a well.
I'm just in a really big living room.
Your living room is a well?
No, it's just large. Don't shame me.
All right, so I'm not sure how much joy we're going to get out of this, but Anthem players are planning to boycott the game to protest its stingy endgame loot.
I swear
that's the part they want to protest.
That's such a gamer response. I swear to God, if you fuck with me 7 or 8 more times, I'm going to not play the game for 1 weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it's true that apparently they were very stingy with endgame loot drops, And I think that there was a follow-up story to this that said that they are going to go and try to improve it.
They have to. They've invested so much into this. They can't even cut and run like with Andromeda. They've already like committed to the roadmap. This is such a massive clusterfuck. If not for Apex Legends, this probably would have ended in massive layoffs or some sort of insane, ugly downsizing for EA.
It sucks so bad that BioWare's name is attached to this. They've made a lot of good games in the past, and it's going to be extremely sad when EA inevitably fucking murders them.
It's a good lesson in that the name of the company maybe doesn't mean as much as we attach to it, because all those people who made those games left long ago. And I'm just as bad as most gamers. We should probably start finding the storytellers and artists that we like and follow their work rather than expecting BioWare, which is an EA subsidiary for such a long time, to give 1 ounce of a shit.
Yeah, well, like what happened with Frontier after Atari started fucking up the people who made Roller Coaster Tycoon.
I'm not familiar with that. Would you care to expound?
Oh yeah, EA was just kept like killing the franchise, firing people, and a bunch of pretty much everyone who's involved with the masterpiece that is the Roller Coaster Tycoon games are defected and made Planet Coaster, and then Atari tried to recapitalize on their franchise creds by releasing Roller Coaster Tycoon World, which was a complete clusterfuck and looks like a PS2 era game. And a similar situation was with how EA bought Maxis and completely fucked up SimCity, which kind of let City Skylines just swoop in, do whatever, and become the best city builder on Earth at the moment. So that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's just the fucking elephant graveyard of like below.
Okay, but what's the graveyard? Microsoft.
Really?
True.
Microsoft they bought up Mojang for one thing, which might actually be like a saving grace to Minecraft.
Well, I mean, honestly, I think that 100% only can be considered a good thing that they took it out of not just sticky fingers.
Yeah, that is definitely like a massive exception, I think, to most like big game acquisitions where you're like, oh man, thank God this isn't independent anymore. The soulless corporation is finally is going to save this and do right by it.
They also bought up Age of Empires, but supposedly there's going to be another one coming out in a year or so. So we're going to see if they've permanently fucked that one up or not, because they tried to release a free-to-play, massively multiplayer version of it, and it went about as well as you'd expect. So
I think I remember they've also bought Obsidian, which there's been some speculation about it. So there's the chance that, yeah, they fuck around with the company too much and they end up killing it. But I'm honestly kind of looking forward to see what Obsidian can do with like a first-party budget. Because up until now, Obsidian has made some really fantastic games, but they've never been given like the time or resources to like do everything that they want.
Like all those mountains around New Vegas.
Yeah, like New Vegas, widely considered one of the best in the Fallout franchise, and yet
probably the best.
It was made on like a shoestring budget in like 12 months. And then same deal with like KOTOR 2. I believe that was Obsidian as well.
Yeah.
Same deal. People love KOTOR 2, and they had to like cut so much out of the final game because they just weren't given the time. And it's just like this Obsidian has been like it's been fucked over so many times making games for like other franchises. It would be really friggin' dope if this move to Microsoft means that they get to make like an actual complete game.
Video games.
I certainly hope games are good when I play them. I know, bold statement, I know.
I actually like it when they suck really bad.
I mean, I know.
You said suck.
He'll say come again later. The encroaching, like I was talking about before, marriage between Xbox and Windows and how they want to kind of make this all kind of basically the Netflixation of video games where all this stuff is going to be, available for streaming. and it's going to be this one big slurry where they don't care about any individual game.
Let's see, I heard you say one big slur, and I was like, they're going to turn video games into a big slur? Finally.
There's the only slur here, knowledge.
Okay.
Just that, I'm really worried about how hopefully they'll let the studios do what they want, but I'm also really worried that they're not going to give a shit about them at all. They just want them as much possible on their content platform.
Oh, that's cool, I guess. I'm really worried about growing up in a world that's going to be Mad Max, but you do you.
Yeah.
Oh, my treats might not be good.
Oh my God.
I mean, I'm going to be long dead by the Mad Max time, so I got 2 years max with this Taco Bell I'm eating.
This is like one big anti-sponsorship.
I mean, I think that pretty much wraps everything we wanted to talk about up. Unless you guys want to talk about another thing.
Just one thing, I would like to, on the pod, vocally support August's campaign against horses.
Oh yeah, I was about to say fuck horses. And not in the Mr. Hands way. I mean,
oh my
they're terrible.
God.
They're a menace. They're the only other thing I'm allergic to other than Mountain Dew.
Now I'm just imagining those two things combined to create a creature that will destroy you.
Destroy the earth? That sounds like the biggest abomination possible.
Man, I will be extremely itchy and have difficulty breathing.
I would too, and not even because of allergies, just because of what an abomination that is.
The Mountain Dew horse?
Don't say those cursed words ever again, please.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on to the podcast, August.
You said come!
God damn it.
Yeah, we really appreciate your time. I'm glad your parents didn't come home.
Yeah.
You said come!
Oh, man. So where can people find you and your great online content, August?
DXGGEAUX. That's DXGGEAUX. D as in doggo. E as in everybody loves doggo. G as in gravy. G as in gravy.
Double gravy.
E as in everybody loves doggo. A as in all people love doggo. U as in you will follow doggo. And X as in doggo is extremely good.
Excellent.
And how do they get a hold of you for commission work?
DM me.
Excellent.
And if they're cute boys, they're double welcome to do that.
Okay. And it's also in the pinned comment, I see.
Yes. Observant. Wow. Look at you. Mr. Super Detective. Wow.
I don't like to brag, but I don't like to brag a lot, but yeah, I'm pretty sharp. I can notice the first thing I see when I open somebody's account. All right, Reese, where can people find you and your great online content on the internet?
Follow me at Your Very Good Bud on Twitter.
Excellent. And you can
I probably will not be doing that.
Fair enough.
Oh.
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 Just kidding. I would, but I have the memory of a goldfish.
That's fine. All right, and you can find our official Vigatoto Twitter account at Vigatoto. It's just the first letter of each word of Video Games Are the Worst Thing on Earth. You can find our website at videogamesaretheworst.pinecast.co, where you can find all of our previous episodes and links to our app, to our iTunes page, Google Play, Spotify, the RSS feeds, etc. And you can find me at 8alton8 on Twitter or at Alton Plays on YouTube, where I'm uploading slowly all the VODs for all the podcasts. I'm way behind because it's very boring to do.
Dope.
That's a great story.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So thank you again. I'm not gonna fucking say it. I'm not gonna say come.
You just did!
All right. Thank you very much for going on the podcast, August.
You're very welcome.
And we'll see everyone next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hello, my little ducklings and goslings. It is I, Reese. And I'm going to read out the $5 powerful poster tier Patreon subscribers. Alton isn't around. He is worshiping his golden idol of the Lady Rabbit from Space Jam and just didn't have the time. So without further ado, Brandon Carey, thank you very much. Dissonant Dragon, thank you. It was fun playing EDF with you the other day. Goat Napper, Higgins the Seagull, thank you both. Conky, who has a long name, but we read it in another episode where it's much more appropriate. So Conky, just imagine that you typed in all these words that I'm saying right now, and that's your long name. Thanks, Conky. Jordan, of Game Shows, I Suppose. Check it out. He recently got Brian from Street Fight on. I think that's a future episode, so maybe I'm spoiling. And for that, I'm sorry, Jordan, but thank you. Kyle Reedman, Nate M, thank you. Nathan Melby, another Nate M, we appreciate it. Robert M. Fenner, thank you, Bob. Robert Miles, thank you. And Tom Devan, the video game man, we really appreciate it. Thank you all once again. Thank you to the $1 tier, to the baby puzzlers. My heart goes out to you. And I'll be seeing you real soon. Bye.